Hi, welcome back to the podcast. Today I'm talking with Micheal O'Connor. Micheal grew up in Dublin and first served with the Irish Defence Forces before deciding to join the British Army in 1995. Micheal served with 19 Regiment and did a couple of stints at Larkhill, both with 3-4 Battery and 2-4 Battery. He later did tours of Iraq and Afghanistan before finally leaving the Army in 2018. Micheal tells us what it was like growing up in Dublin, his time at Pirbright, serving with 19 Regiment, and also some humorous stories of the tug-of-war team at Larkhill. If you like this podcast or any of the previous ones, please consider buying me a coffee at www.buymeacoffee.com/Frankie'sPod. It just helps to pay for the software that I record with and the hosting. Thanks very much. I hope you enjoy this episode. Hi, welcome back to the podcast. In this episode, we're talking to Paddy O'Connor. Me and Paddy met each other late 90s, 2000s when we were both serving at Larkhill. How are you doing?
I'm grand. I'm grand.
The first thing to ask then really is, as people will be able to tell by your accent, you're not from England.
No.
So where did you grow up? What was it like?
Yeah.
Why did you join the military?
So I came from a place called Clondalkin, which is a small village in Dublin. Grew up there till I was, 19 years of age. I came from a working class family, lived in a council estate. Make no apologies about it. In 1995, I applied to join the British Army. And I started training at Pirbright in 1996. Before I actually went into the British Army, I'd done 3 years in the Irish Defence Forces. I was actually a reservist in regular regiment. I was one. The unit I was in was one of the only kind, because the regiment, even though it was a regular regiment, it had 4 batteries, if that makes any sense to you.
Oh, so it was artillery?
Yeah. It was it was the Air Defence Regiment. It was.
Oh, right. Okay.
The first battery was a regular battery, and then the 3 other batteries were reservist batteries. Whereas we done all our exercises with the regulars, where the rest of the reserve units wouldn't have any integration with the regulars, apart from the training staff that was allocated to them. Everything we done was with the regular army. And we'd go away and exercises here, there, and everywhere with the regular army. And if they need extra bods, AFL will do this. Yeah, no problem. Being in for such time, no problem. So yeah, I've done 3 years with the Reserve Defence Forces in Ireland. Initially, I applied to go regular with the Irish Defence Forces, but I couldn't get in for various different reasons. There was a period of change where there was a big recruitment block for the Reserve Defence Forces. The Irish Defence Forces had a maximum of 12,000 people strong, and once they lost a lot of people to retirement and stuff like that, they then brought in recruit, say, 100 people. That makes any sense.
Yeah.
But instead of being on 20 to 22 year contracts, everybody was brought in on a 5-year contract. But within those 5 years, you had to do various things, qualify. Then you'd be given another 5 years, and then if you'd done those 5 years, you then qualify for another 5 years, and so on. So I applied to go regular. Didn't get it. To be honest, I was myself in my unit. I was one of 15 people in my unit that actually applied, and of the 15 of us, only one person got in, and he was literally only in the door as well. He wasn't even trained or anything like that. So he was literally 5 months in the door of being a reserve. Not even, basically he was trained how to march, how to use a rifle. That was it. It wasn't trade trained or anything like that. Went for an interview. Yeah, you're in. Yeah, any of us that was trade trained didn't get in. So I made the decision after that rejection, and I didn't take it personal. I just thought, right, it's going. I know I generally didn't. I just thought, right, this is going to be a nightmare, and I always wanted to be a soldier. So when I was growing up, you on TV and stuff like that, you see the war films like The Longest Day, A Bridge Too Far, stuff like that. Growing up, you see those films, you're like, wow, you know what I'm saying? And I remember watching Patton.
Yeah.
What was his name? George, I think it was George Segal, I think it was the actor.
George Segal,
yeah. Playing Patton out in the desert. And his stubbornness and bitterness towards Montgomery and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I just thought, I want to be a soldier. And then when I was a kid, I actually seen a couple of, or I was going with the school to say, on a school trip from the school to say the RDS to see the horse show or something like that. And you'd be on the coach, and all of a sudden there's a truck with a load of army lads on, going from Dublin to Kildare.
Yeah.
And I seen they're all geared up and tooled up, and I was like, I want to be that. Back in those days, the Irish Army, they'd done a lot more than what they would do now. So, for instance, they would do cash escort. So, if cash is going from the main bank to the normal banks on the street, they would have army escort tooled up.
Well, it's understandable to what the place was like then.
And let's be honest, growing up, I don't know what it was like for yourself in the northeast, especially in Dublin. Growing up, you ever seen film Commitments?
Yeah.
Take the music away. That's what Dublin was like. Had a massive heroin problem, massive unemployment problem. Look, my family went to a place called St. Vincent de Paul and had to get food vouchers just so we got food. And that's what it was like. My father used to be in merchant seaman. He gave up his job to go work in the paper mills. Within 2 years of being in the paper mills, it got bought out and got closed down, and he wouldn't go back away to sea. And then he was unemployed. And I just thought, when I was growing up, when I decided that I wanted to do something myself, my father turned around and said to me, he goes, if you're going to do anything, I want you to go away to sea. I was like, nah. He goes, join the Navy. I was like, no. The mother, because I was the eldest, she wanted me to do the typical Irish Catholic thing, join the priesthood. And I'm not even going to deny it, I'm not going to lie. I was an altar boy growing up and everything else.
Knowing you later on, I can't exactly see you in a frock, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so I look, by the time I got to 16, I knew I wanted to be in the army. So hence the reason I joined the Irish Defence Forces as a reserve. I actually got falsified my date of birth to join because you're supposed to be a minimum of 17, and I joined when I was 16. You could get away with it back then because you literally had who could prove that you were underage. You know what I mean, it's not like these days. You got ID everywhere. You know what I mean, the passports and stuff like that. So yeah, I knew I wanted to be in the army, so I joined the Irish Defence Forces. And when I didn't get to be a regular soldier with the Irish Defence Forces, come 1995, I made a decision. Actually, do you know what? I'm not going to lie to you. I seen an application on the Mirror, the Daily Mirror back then, for applications for the British Armed Forces. And I was just, I was reading the paper and I thought, fuck it, I'm going to fill this out. And I sent it off to the Daily Mirror, application to join the British Army. And I was, next minute, they sent it off to the careers office in bloody Belfast. But then Belfast sent me an application form to fill in. So I sent it back. And then, what was this? Sorry, I was 18 at this time. 18 gone and 19. Yeah, I was 18. Yeah. And I just thought, fuck it, sod it. So, I applied away. And next minute, I also wrote away to the French embassy because I knew about the French Foreign Legion. And I asked about an application form for the French Foreign Legion. Now, when I always said to myself, even back then, and I always say to everybody back now, whoever got in touch with me first, that's who it was going to go to. So, whether it be the French Foreign Legion or the British Army, and I was one step away from actually going to the American embassy in Ballsbridge in Dublin. And I was going to even go there and ask for an application form to join the US Marines and stuff like that.
It's weird, isn't it? Because I didn't realise until years later that there's a lot of people who joined the American forces from Ireland.
And Britain as well.
Yeah, but I was like, I was quite... Yeah, I found it a bit strange. I mean, to be honest, I found it strange that you joined the British Army, only because of where you come from.
But, so the British Army got back in touch with me. So I went up and done the aptitude test. Do you remember the old BARB test? Or not BARB test,
BARB test, yeah.
BARB test, it was, yeah. Done that. And I remember I was being interviewed by a guy from the Royal Irish Regiment and a guy from so there was two people, a sergeant from the Royal Irish and a sergeant from the Irish Guards. And they goes, right, this is what you can do. You can't do this. Which was basically, he said, I couldn't be, because I didn't get enough scores to say, so I couldn't be, say, like, like these electrical engineers for the Remy or something like that. I didn't get, he goes, what do you want to be? And I'm not going to lie to you, I seen a poster on the wall, 2-9 Commando. I said, look, I'm coming from the Defence Forces. I said, I'm artillery background. I said, I want that. Artillery Commando. And oh no, you want to be infantry? I said, I don't want to be infantry. I said, look, he's still. He's a shite. I said, I want to be crawling around shite. So I said, I want to be artillery. And I said, I want to be artillery commando. So next thing.
Where did you do your...
This was at Palace Barracks.
Right, okay, yeah.
Just outside Belfast. So the process got... Done the interview. Next minute, I didn't hear anything for months. I literally didn't hear. I was like, "Geez, I'm not going to take." So then I applied away again, but this time I applied away for the Royal Marines because they were recruiting and stuff like that. And I didn't realise that it was the exact same bloody office. And got dragged up. So I went back up to Belfast to do another interview, and he goes, Micheal O'Connor from Dublin, you applied back up such and such. And he goes, yeah. He goes, but your application is going through right now. He goes, why are you trying to apply for the Royal Marines? I said, I didn't hear nothing from you, so presumably the application just got ripped up. I was going to try and apply against the Marines now. No. So I got sent back, literally wasted a day up. But they paid, gave me a train ticket to come up and everything else. So I got sent back that day. And within a month, I had to go a fitness test. And it was the home of the two Royal Irish Rangers, which used to be the UDR. I went up to my fitness test, and so you press up your sit-ups and your heaves thing, and I'm not going to shit heaves to the thing. Always was, always will. But then got to do the 1.5 run. And I remember like it was bucking down rain. I mean, it was chucking proper Irish weather, pissing down rain. And I was like, oh my God, I'm like, here's me, skimpy bleeding t-shirt, skimpy shorts. Because I used to play hurling back down in Dublin, but I was quite fit, you know what I mean? So there was 5 other lads doing the fitness test with me. And we got set off, shown the room, and then gone, boom. And I was at an next minute, I come in with a time of 7:49. And the guys are looking and go, nah, something's not right here. He's on drugs. After doing that, the fitness test, I got a letter sent to me saying I had to be in Belfast at Palace Barracks again for the 9th of February 1996, which was a Friday. I was like, all right. He said, pack your bags. You're going for training. And I got the train up to Belfast and flown from Belfast to Gatwick. So we landed, and TV screens, news alert, Canary Wharf had just been blown up by the IRA.
Oh, Jesus.
So by the time we got the train and got off, we then got a taxi from the train station up to the barracks. And all you could see was myself, John, and another Irish lad getting out of the taxi. 2 was really strong Dublin accents. Weapons pointed. Get down on your knees. Get down on your knees. What the hell are you doing? I was like, whoa, I'm here to start training. And I was like, fucking hell. I was like, John, what the fuck's going on? And he was telling, we didn't know that basically, as we were landing into Gatwick, the IRA blew up Canary Wharf. And here there's 3 Irish guys rocking up at Princess Alexandra Barracks in Pirbright with bags. They're trying to fucking blow the place up or something like that. I was like, holy God.
So a good introduction then.
Yeah, quite an introduction. Yeah, you can say that. Yeah, so the first 3 weeks, they ripped everybody. Now, when I say ripped, I mean like they tore everybody down. It didn't make the difference that it was ex-Irish Defence Force. If anything, that was more of a hindrance, that was. And I remember, Jesus Christ.
Did they expect you to, because they knew your history, did they expect you to excel a little bit?
No, far from it. I think because I don't think they wanted me to take a lead, if that makes any sense. And in case, I think I might be wrong, because in case we done something different from them and I was to mouth off, like I say, not mouth off as such, but I say, like, well, I was trying to do it this way. You know what I mean? This would be better. You know, they've got a set script to follow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas you just so like it's basically keep your mouth shut. You will keep your mouth shut. Because I remember like at my first exercise, the first overnight exercise, and you're supposed to bug out, and like they set off a couple of flashbangs and strip flares and stuff like that. And they go, everybody bug out. I said, no, stand your ground, defend the area. Like I'm firing off blanks, everybody's bugging out. And John Neal was saying, what are you doing? Oh, stand my ground, I'm gonna fucking fight these bastards. Boom, boom, boom. Get that fucking. I mean, so I literally grabbed me and I had to grab the thing. It was first 3 weeks was just a nightmare because like I had to readjust. I'm now a recruit again. You know what I mean? I'm being trained in a different way. So, and then obviously different rifle, because in the Irish Defence Forces, I went from the FN FAL or the SLR, as you would be known as, to the Steyr, which is an Austrian, automatic rifle, to use in, let's be honest, the shitty SAE one. It was one of the biggest pieces of crap I've ever came across in my whole life. Passing out from Pirbright. Very unreal, because we always, leading up to passing out, I think on the 8th week, they were all going, right, where do you want to go? Some lads, I want to go to 47. Where do you want to go? I want to go to Germany. Which unit in Germany? There's 4 units in Germany. Anyone in Germany? Anyone? And he goes to me, where do you want to go? 29 Commando. And they look at me and goes, nah, you don't want to go 29 Commando. And I was like, why not? And I looked at John Neal and I said, Sergeant, what unit are you from? He goes, from 19 Regiment. And I seen there was a poster there for 19 thing with the air mobile artillery and one of the Larkhills on the slung on a Puma. So I was like, well, I'm just thinking, why are they trying to stop me from going to 29 Commando? Like, they were happy to let people go to, say, 7 or anything like that. But they were like, I don't know, they just didn't want too many people going to 29. I think there was like 10 people that wanted to go to 29 Commando and they wanted to spread it out. So the day, I hadn't chosen where I was told, right, once you get to phase 2 in Larkhill, that's when you have to make your choice where you want to go, regiment. And I remember on the day, the passing out parade, the honorary officer, I can't remember whoever it was, came around and he goes to me, what unit are you hoping to go to, son? And I goes, the first thing he said, where are you from? I said, Dublin, Ireland. And he goes, what unit? I said, very proud to pass out, blah, blah, blah. I said, really enjoyed it, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, where do you want to go? And in front of John Neal, who was the sergeant, I said, 19 Regiment Royal Artillery. And he goes, oh, what is that? And he goes, it's where Sergeant Neal's from. I said, plus they fly with helicopters. He goes, what? He's like, jumping. He goes, what the hell have I just done? So, yeah, I then went to phase 2. And funny enough, my troop bombardier and troop sergeant were 19. And I was like, geez,
like written for stars for you then, yeah.
Yeah, like Harry McCaffrey was my troop bombardier, plus he was the one that I was on his gun crew learning the 105, and Oscar Wildman was my troop sergeant. And I was like, bloody hell. So initially I got sent to Leckensfield to do driver training for us. And to be honest, I failed my driving test miserably. Absolutely miserably failed. I mean, I remember I was driving in, it's a hole that's just after Beverley.
Yeah.
I was driving in, and I stopped at a roundabout in the middle of a fucking road. Couldn't get it beeping and everything. So I was like, I'm trying to put in the first gear, but it's actually going to the third gear, and and I was like, and next minute, I was like, RTU'd back to Larkhill. And I remember going from the troop sergeant who was different this time. It was a 29 bloke called Andy Booth or something like that. He goes, did you get yourself RTU'd? I said, no. I said, they just said I was a born bleeding pedestrian. I said, let's explain. And he's trying not to fucking laugh, but he's also trying to be serious. How can you not pass your driving test? It's one of the most easiest. So I don't know, Sergeant. I don't know. I try to be hardest. And next minute, so he goes, right, there isn't any courses going on for a while. I had to wait for the next intake, because They didn't take the like went there. They all split up. They'd already start to do AS90 courses and so on.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, I passed out with Johnny Wiseman, and Johnny Wiseman, who went to 7RJ, he was doing a signals course, just a basic six course and first aid and stuff like that, because he was going to do Lycan, but he already had his license, if that makes any sense to you.
Yeah.
So he goes, look, if you don't go to 19, where do you want to go? And do you know what? I just thought, fuck it, I want to go. I wouldn't mind going to air defence. And he goes, where did you want to go? Now, at the time, he had 2-2 up in Yorkshire.
Yeah,
or
Lincolnshire.
Yeah. He had 12, which was in London. He had 16. No, sorry, 12 was in Germany. 16 in London. And he had 4-7 in Torney Island. And I said, fuck it. I said, either 12. I said, I wouldn't mind going to either 4-7 or 12 Reg, because even though 4-7 was what you call it, the blowpipe javelin.
Javelin, yeah.
They knew they were going to eventually go to the one that 12 was on, or HMV.
Yeah.
You could fire it. So I'd done a barb test and redone a barb test in Larkhill, up in the training wing. I actually got enough points to do air defence, and but by this time Oscar Wildman came back from leave. He must have been on leave, and he goes, "O'Connor." I was like, "Oh fuck, yeah, Sergeant, come here." And he goes, "What you doing air defence for? Air defence barb test for?" Because I want to go air defence. He goes, "No, you're not. You're going 19." I says, "You're starting this guns course." I was like, for fuck's sake. So done me Lycan course, fucking ragged around left, right and centre. And then I thought, right, John Neal, lovely man, who got to know really well years later. Jimmy Martin, I thought they were all right as phase 1 instructors. And then Harry McCaffrey, Jesus Christ, Harry's a character, that's all I could say. And then Oscar Wildman, another lovely man. Done the course, got sent to 19, and oh my God, what a shock. Knew it was a Scottish regiment, but most of the jocks were in 2-8 battery / 2-5 battery. Yeah. Where did I get sent? I got sent to 2nd 51st. At that time, it was full of people that was X49, X26, and 4th. So basically ex-Germany regiments, all stuck together. And a lot of them have, let's say, bad experiences in the north and stuff like that. And here you go. And I didn't tell them my fucking religion, you know what I mean? They didn't need to fucking work out my religion, but you can tell by my accent. A fucking Irishman, a Southern Irishman, rocking up into the British Army. And I tell you, my life was made. I was made worse even. What made hell even worse was, it was made worse by the Catholics in the fucking unit. So even though I was the exact same religion as them, they fucking made my life hell. And I mean, excuse me for swearing, but they made my life hell. I remember, like, there was a bloke called, I'll drop his name, you probably know him, Scott Hunter. He was my cover. Just took an instant dislike into Glaswegian. I think it was Glaswegian. You fucking, like, maybe stand there, you have to shut your mouth and just take it. Otherwise, because, like, there was another lad that I'm actually really good friends with, Peter Trotter. He just used to use punched the living crap out of me. And I was just going to use me as a punching bag because, I was Irish, you know what I mean? Even though all his family is Irish. And I just had to take it. And I remember it was Scotty Hunter painted my hand red, like the red hand of Ulster with fucking red lead paint. And I had to go march up to me.
I shouldn't be laughing because it's wrong, but it's funny as well.
And I was like, I had to go up to me, see me troop sergeant and my troop commander, who were at the time the troop office was a port cabin. I said, "Excuse me, sorry, sergeant. Blah, 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 blah. I think I've been told to come to say I'm a proud Ulster man. We had bright hair, and it took me fucking 3 days to get this fucking red lead paint off with white spirits and everything else. And I was like, holy fucking God. So I remember, I'll never forget my first exercise. Oh, jeez. It was a month long, my first exercise with the unit. We done a week and a half in Thetford training ground, dry firing. And I tell you what, you probably remember him because he was ex-3RJ. John Lefebvre was the RSM. Lovely man. Me, stupid and naive as I was at the time, Irish, and I was the sprog. They put you on the worst stags going, and you're knackered and everything else. And all of a sudden, he goes, right, this is the passport. Romeo, Yankee, or something like that, you know what I mean? And the RSM comes up, being driven around. And I went to the RSM because I was fucking knackered. And he goes, password. And John Lefebvre's looking at me there. He goes, now you're supposed to ask me, give me the first two there. Oh, sorry, sir, go on. I know you're the RSM, just go on. I remember Ian Mill, who was my gun one, that's what would be true sergeant, just coming up to me, and he punched the living crap out of me because I left the RSM through and that. And the RSM turned around and told him. I was like, fuck me, Jesus Christ. I was saying, I'm going AWOL from the exercise. I didn't care. So we then went from Thetford up to Otterburn. And it was horrible because it pissed down rain. It did left, right, and centre. We were night firing. We were firing a loom. It was going okay. And I think I was doing okay, right? I was the number two. Scotty Hunter was cover. He gave me a loom shell. I said, right, shut up. He goes, yeah, pull on the shell on the lip. All we heard was load. So Worm, who was the Baz Barrett, whose nickname was Worm, went to train, started the same time as me. He fucking rammed the shell. And the email goes, what have you just loaded there? The round that was on the thing. Yeah, what? A loom. You fucking bastard. He came up and he butted me into the head. I was like, whoa, knocked me out. Rifle into the head, even though I had my helmet on. And he go, well, I didn't tell you to load loom. No, I was told to put a loom on thing. I got you. I fucking never tell you, because we had been given a HE mission. Right. So we then had to eject the round. So when I got the ejectiles, I come back, and like for the loom, because the loom is shorter shell, you've got the extension thing that got lost, and he blamed me for losing it and stuff like that. It fucking wasn't me at all. I was like, fuck's sake. I then got sent on stag. So I went on stag, got sent to the wrong stag point. They went searching for me. I was like, they thought I'd done one. So I came back and I was like, Jesus, 3 hours I was on stag. I was like, I went back to the gun. I said, nobody replaced me. He goes, where have you been? He goes, stag. No, you haven't. He goes, I have. I said, ask Killer. He goes, what do you mean ask Killer? I said, I was on stag with him. I said, I've been on stag for 3 hours. He goes, you've been at the wrong fucking stag point. They had to send the search area for me at the parade a couple weeks later. and it was a Monday morning parade, and they were looking for volunteers to go to Larkhill to 3-4 Barry. I put my hand up. Nope, you're not going nowhere. Why? Because you only just got in here. I haven't even done me advanced guns course yet. I'll let him only get out. So, yeah, I then got put me advanced guns course. Done that. And then
I was going to say, because it must have been pretty soon. I mean, for you to go to Larkhill, really.
Yeah. To be honest, everything happened so fast, Frankie. Really did happen so fast. But it happened so fast because the predicament we were in a high readiness brigade.
Yeah.
Thing.
I know what 19 Res was like. I served with them once. So just before you joined, they were out in Bosnia.
That's right, yeah.
And I served with them then for 6 months.
Weird regiment.
Yeah.
Let's be honest there. So, yeah, done me advanced guns course. And then, do you know what? I'm not going to lie to you. I just cheekily, I don't know why I'd done it, but I just done it. After a year of being in the battery, I never been injured, always up there at the top when doing fizz and stuff like that. And I just thought, right, fuck this. The other recruits have came into the battery since. And I was like, haven't been in trouble, haven't fucked up. Always done duty, done extra duties if I had to. There was a lad called Smudge Smith who was on his Lancers course, but he didn't want to do it. He wanted to get out of the army. They were giving his Lancers course because they tried to keep him in as an incentive. So I went to the BSM, a bloke called Mick Mooney. And I was like normally you're supposed to get and go see your troop commander or troops TSM before you go see the BSM. And I just walked in. He goes, knocked on the BSM. O'Connor, what do you want? I says, can I ask permission to ask you a question, sir? And he goes, what do you want? And he goes, can I go into the junior NCO's course, sir? What? He goes, can I do the junior NCO's course? Why? Because I think I'm ready for it, sir. I was expecting that to get sent to jail or something like that. And all of a sudden, Smudge Smith was called in from TSM. Have you spoken to Paddy O'Connor? And he goes, no. I didn't know that Smudge was signed off, by the way. Signed off, he was saying, I just done it because I wanted to prove people wrong. You know what I mean? I wanted to. And next minute now is Smudge is off. I'm on the course. So
set up here called Shy Bairns Don't Get Out.
Yeah. So I ended up doing going on my Lancers course and went up to Scotland to do that course. Jesus Christ. I'll never forget it because in between, just before, I went on the course. I went to Canada with the party I was eventually going to go to, 25170. And one of the lads I got quite on well with, ended up being my instructor. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. I was like, you're an arsehole. But yeah, done the Lancers course and probably wasn't fully ready for it, but I thought it was. I passed it, you know what I mean? That was the main thing. And then came off that, I was thinking, yeah, I'll get promoted in 6 months on the guns. You know what I mean? They're always promoting people. There was like no promotion, at all. And I was like, what's going on here? I didn't want to push me luck, because I've kind of steadied the boat. I've now moved battery because the battery I was with 2nd 54th got disbanded. So I then moved up to 25170 and I'm with them. And I was like, okay, I'm actually a cover as a gunner for a friend of mine. And I was one of the only few that was actually doing it. So they weren't promoting anybody. But it then came out that we were getting ready to go to Cyprus. He went to Cyprus. So there was no need to promote people, if you know what I mean. And with people, the battery disbanded. They take what they needed, then over what's called too many Landshacks full screws that came from my battery, so my old battery into 2.5 and so on. So we went to Cyprus, and I'm not going to lie to you. Have you ever done Cyprus? Have you?
Not a UN tour, no.
Yeah, it was the worst tour of my life. For a 6 month tour, I only done 3 months. Fucking the worst CO you could ever have at the time. I won't mention his name. Just complete nightmare. But the RSM at the time, Chas Broffa, I don't know if you know Chas Broffa, lovely bloke. He tried to do his best possible for the lads. So I ended up going back to Colchester after 3 months. And then the regiment came back. They refused to give me medal. It wasn't just me, it was couple of us. So in the end, we ended up just going out and getting our own medals and fucking putting it up. They couldn't say anything because we achieved the UN mandate for requirement for the medal. It's just because we didn't do the full 6 months. They were like, well, you're not here with us for the full 6 months. You're not getting out. Bollocks. No. Fuck yous. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, 25170 got disbanded. Half the battery stayed with the regiment. Sorry, a third of the battery stayed with the regiment. A third went to 40 Regiment to make up the new Dragon battery that was going to be in 40 Reg. And then the other half... No, sorry, the battery didn't get disbanded. My apologies. The battery got re-rolled to air defence. So then the other half went with the battery down to 47 Regiment. And I thought, did I want to go to 47, which I initially said I wanted to do when I first went in 19. I thought, nah. I thought, do you know what? I wanted to come off the guns and start fresh. And I thought, well, I wouldn't mind doing CPs. So I wanted to do signals. So I went into 19.5 battery. We then got warned off to go to Kosovo. But because I didn't do the AS90 conversion, I thought it was just going to be a signal storming and stuff like that. No, that's when I got sent down to Larkhill. Didn't want to go. When I got told it was going, I was like, nobody wants to go to Larkhill. Only the fucking shit gets sent to Larkhill, the 3-4 party. And I'm not going to lie to you, I don't know what it was. I remember my first 3 months there. It was horrible. Not because it was bad, because you were busy. You were constantly busy. Yeah. And it took me 3 months to settle into the routine. And do you know what? It wasn't until I'd actually done a exercise with the OPs. I was on myself and Wally, Big Wall, got sent over the OPs, and we were on Bunny Burroughs OP. And after that, that's when I became settled, because the number one on the gun that I wasn't on the 19 gun. I thought I was being moved around from the 2.6 gun to the 40 gun to 2.9 gun to the 19 gun. Actually, there was 2 19 guns at that time. There was L and case up, I think it was. But I was generally predominantly L. But I was always constantly moving a bit. And it wasn't until a mate of mine, Kev Hewitt, a good old friend of mine, funny enough, who was speaking to there a couple of weeks ago, came. I was like, fucking hell, Kev, what are you doing here? He goes, oh, I'm going. You know, big Kev, Scottish bloke with so, oh, I'm coming to 3-4 party. I was like, no, you're not. He goes, yeah, I am. I thought he was bluffing. And next here on the Monday, Tony Mount's gone. And here's Kev. He's giving new number one. It's like, that's when it came settled. Not because it was Kev that maybe settled me down. It's just that I had routine, I had continuity. And do you know what it was? Is that once Kev got settled in himself, when we were out on exercise around the range, Kev would go, right, go to him, go to Wally, right, well, I'm taking a step back, you take over. Wally would do DC guns anyway, AS90 and everything. So he would do a couple of formations. The next minute, Kev goes, right, well, back on cover. Pass there, get out here. I was like, well, what's wrong, Kev? You're firing the gun. I was like, what? And I was apparently, and from what I remember, I was probably one or two, there was two of us, only gunners in the battery that fired as a gunner, as a number one, under supervision. And I remember there was a SMIG there. They were firing for an OP course because we were up at OP Ridge 19. And he goes, do you know what you're doing? And he goes, yeah. He goes, are you sure? I said, yeah. He goes, what level guns course are you? I said, advanced guns, which was then now level 3. And he goes, right, data board, getting called up by safety for because there's going to be a change of data. So they're looking at me. He goes, what are you doing here? I'm firing as the number one. The SMIG comes over. He goes, yeah, he's firing under my supervision. So I give him the data and they come back, done the firing and thing. Because Chris got put in, because Chris was a lance check. He got put into as a lance check for the 7 gun. And I was loved it. And then obviously the tug of war came about. Before tug of war, I was actually playing rugby, so I was like going in between. And then
how did you end up on the tug of war team then? Because when I spoke to Chris, I said, "Who dicked you for it?" He says, Jimmy Whitworth.
Yeah,
I was like, "Yeah, fair enough." Yeah,
I tell you how I got. Kev Hewitt goes, Pastor, he goes, you've done tug of war before. Oh yeah. Jokingly, like, no, seriously. Yeah. Actually, I'm training me. So I was like, right, you're going to the tug of war team. Okay, no problem. Do anything for you, Kev, no problem. And it was first day, next minute, rocked up, train. I can't remember, what was it? I think we've done a 5 mile or run or something like that, the first day or something like that. I remember you shouting at the whole lot of us. I was like, fucking hell, Frank, you calm down. And like, even for your size, you were super, super fucking fit. You were, Frank, you know.
No, that wasn't me, mate. I was on a bike. I had knackered legs, you remember?
No, that was the second year.
Oh, yeah.
The first year. But and then you'd be in the gym, and after nappy break, and then you do a 2-hour session in the gym. And I was like, geez, this is like boxing training, but 10 times worse. And then you're on the rope. Oh my God. Oh my God. Do you know what? First day I hated it. But I didn't realize it's going to be like this for the next 4 months. And I was like, fuck it. I'm going to be super fit. I probably won't do many duties. I'm not going on the range. Okay, I love it. And Kev's doing it as well. I was like, happy days. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I must admit, tug of war is a bit of a shock to people who've never done it before.
Yeah, massively.
It's not so much the fitness, it's the rope work.
Oh, big time.
You can't explain what it's like to anyone who's never done it.
Well, even go as far. It's harder to train than it is to do a competition.
Oh, definitely.
Because you can be in a competition and try your hardest, and you know you might not be the best, but you know you're going to give it all. The training, you want to be in. Let's be honest. There's 2 teams you want to be in: the 560 and the 640. and you want to be in those teams. And yeah, I remember keeping my weight down. I just loved it, absolutely loved it. But how could I describe it? I remember, what was our first competition that we done? I think it was like the 5 divs or something like that.
Well, generally the first one of the year is the
Jack Smith, wasn't it?
is that the one in Windsor?
No, the
That's
Windsor
generally
was
the
Princess
first one of the
Royals.
year, or it used to be anyway.
The Jack Smiths. Where was the Jack Smiths? The Jack Smiths was somewhere. Sorry, you're right. It wasn't the 5 divs. It was the Jack Smiths. I can't remember where that was. After Jack Smiths, then was the Herefordshire show.
Yeah, because we did a lot of weekend ones, didn't we?
We were on the city circuit. We were.
Yeah.
I remember we done quite a few down at Heathrow.
Yeah. All over Guildford,
Sandhurst,
yeah,
Hedge End, down near Southampton.
And we were pulling against Young Farmers, Norton, Echo, all sorts, and getting spanked by them. Yeah.
Yeah, do you know? But you know, it was a great learning experience. Absolutely great learning experience. I think because we were doing that every weekend, and you do all the weights, and like we even picked up victories against the likes of Young Farmers and stuff. It was when I remember like Al Colville was saying, like, just go out and enjoy it. If you pick up, don't expect to win, but if you pick up an end to take that as an achievement, because it's different style of pulling the military from the civilian circuit. And Al Colville was, because Al was also a judge on both the civvy and the military circuit. I remember Al saying that. I was like, happy days. But we beat Young Farmers a couple of times, and I can't remember, we beat something else. I remember we just got battered by Felton Eccles. Felton Eccles just like, here we go. Here's our warm up, lads. Or Norton. Norton was another one that thought, here we go, lads. Let's drag these boys out. But they played us. And like a fair play to them. They didn't play us to the extent of where they're going to embarrass us. They're going like, let them pull us, let us lift us and stuff like that. And then once they bored themselves out, we just gently attack the thing. But you do the militaries. I remember it was the 5 divs. I think that was done down in Jesus. Where was the 5 divs?
Bulford.
Huh?
Bulford.
No, it might be in what's that? RSC bloody place near.
Marchwood.
Marchwood. Because I remember we went there twice.
That's remember the second shouting us all to get off the grass. Yeah.
Yeah. So we done the 5 divs. Then we done something else. Then it was the Gunners. And I remember you for this because I was in every way, pretty much like yourself. And Cy Beckett was also pulling as well. And Cy Beckett, lovely bloke. He didn't want to do it, but he was told he was doing it. My heart was broken that day on the Gunners. Do you remember when we were in the 560? And I think we shocked a few people. And by the time we got to semi-finals, we knew that we were in a chance. And we were against 2-6 in the semi-finals.
Mm.
And Scouse Holland, like we took the first end. And I remember John Gracie was the judge. And we took the first end because there was you at anchor, and Jimmy Whitworth might be in at 7 or 3. Chris was 6. I was 5. He had Cy Beckett. Who else was there? Dilly was on it. He might be in 4. I can't remember who 1 and 2 was. And we took the first in. And I remember Scouse Holland, who was basically the boss of 2-6 tug of war team. And it was a very dry day as well. Hot, dry day. We were like pulling him back in the second end. And all of a sudden he goes, "Everybody sit down, sit down." And he got the whole fucking 2-6 team to sit down. And I remember we burnt ourselves out trying to lift them and drag them. And John Gracie wouldn't blow them out.
No.
And I think I kind of worked out why he done it. Not because he's good mates with Scouse Holland, even though he was. He wouldn't blow them out. And then all of a sudden, they got up and took the end back. And then we were all knackered. I remember you screaming at every single one of us, trying to inspire us all. Like, effing and blowing. You know, no swearing on the rope and stuff like that. But you're such a passionate person. You're screaming at it. And you're, "Let's fucking kill duties. I fucking battered them and left us. We're going." And fair enough, we took it. We took the third end eventually because we nearly lost it and we had to drag them back. And that's when it clicked. What unit was John Gracie? He was 40 Regiment. He was 40.
Gosh, yeah.
And who did we face in the final of the 560? 40 Reg. Yeah. And one reason why I wanted to win that 560 trophy so much, because you and Jimmy Whitworth went on about it so much. It's the only trophy that was there that your name actually goes on.
Yeah.
Trophy. Like, you'll forever be
Yeah, it goes on the shield, yeah.
Yeah. You can win any other trophy, but your name will never be on it apart from that, the President's Shield. And I wanted my name on it. And I remember we took the first den off 40. But then we were gone. We were gone. 40 came back, took the second, and then third end. We just had nothing left. My heart was broken. My heart, and I could see the frustration in Jimmy Whitworth as well, because Jim was 40 Regiment at the time, and he was like, even he was pissed off.
Yeah, it happens, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
We got our own back on everyone when we went to Germany, though, and we won there.
That's
and everything else.
Well, that's interesting because I'm after the Gunners. The following week, it was Artillery 2000. So we had the armies that day.
That was a good competition because there was a big crowd. It was a good day.
Good ground as well.
We got very excitable after that one.
Yeah, we were just burnt out. I think the combination of too many competitions, both civilian and military competitions, I think we were burnt out. And I think Jim and Al kind of knew it. Hence the reason we stopped doing as much civilian competitions as what we did. Because not long after the armies, we done the UK lefts back down Marchwood. Yeah. And that's when I injured my knee. I was at number 7. I think it was pulling in the 600. And I injured my knee. And I was like, I felt like my ligament snapped because the ground was really rock solid. You were like, don't let go. If you're going to get sick, get fucking sick. Get sick of my fucking boots if you had it. But do not let go. And I was literally just pulling with my right leg. I couldn't move. I think you were doing more pulling for me on my left because I had no power.
Hey, sometimes I felt as I was pulling that rope on my own, mate.
But I was like, Jesus Christ, because not long after that, I didn't pull at the Princess Royals because I just couldn't pull. I was still doing the training, as much training as what I possibly could. But I didn't pull in the Princess Royals down at Windsor. And then Braemar came about. Do you remember that Braemar? Because we were staying at Arbroath. My knee was okay, but I wasn't guaranteed of getting in. Somebody had an idea of, where they have the ski jump thing.
Yes.
Up and down there. They had the idea of trying to climb that, build up leg strength and stuff like that. And by the time we got to Braemar, because I wasn't chosen the original 8 that was chosen. Because the ground is different in Braemar when you're doing the weights. It's a lot softer. Chris couldn't get in because it was constantly just slightly over.
Yeah.
So Jim eventually put me in, and we came in 1 kilo under, so basically 639. And I was stamped at 640. And I tell you what, Braemar, what an experience. Well, we'd done it twice when we were about 14.
What I say about Braemar is there's 2 competitions. There's the winners and the first ones in the pub.
Yeah, that's right.
So if we go like from Larkhill,
yeah,
did you go back to 19 from there, or did you go
because I remember I went to Tony Gilardi, who was TSM at the time. I said, can I get an extension? I didn't want to go back to 19. And done some dig around 19, and I said no. I didn't want to go. I was like, no, I'm staying. I was even saying to the TSM, BSM at the time, no, I'm staying. I want to stay here, Larkhill, because I knew 19 was going to move to Larkhill anyway. So what's the point going to Colchester to eventually come back? Eventually got sent back to Colchester against my better will. First weekend back, I went and played a rugby match for the regiment against West Mersey. Wasn't even sure to play. What happened? Snapped my ligaments. Wrapped up Monday morning, prayed in crutches. BSM and going mental. I mean, yeah, but I just got back and what's wrong there?
What we could do about that,
snapped my ligaments playing rugby. Didn't go down too well. So then got promoted. I wasn't expecting to get promoted. After I got promoted, the regiment was on exercise, but I got sent to I done a week on exercise down Larkhill with the regiment, and then I got taken off exercise to go on a fire NCO's course down in Aldershot. We then went from 95 to HQ. I done a year in HQ, and it allowed me to do a lot more sports. I was doing rugby. I had because 19 didn't have it to war team at the time, so playing rugby, and that's when I broke my ankle in 2 places and dislocated at the same time. I was spent a year out. I couldn't walk. That happened, and then all of a sudden we got told we were going to Iraq. When we were out in Iraq, that was an experience. 8.5 months out there staying at the Shalab Hotel.
Yeah. Shat Al Arab
Hotel, yeah. Right on the river.
I know it well. So we were there 2003 when we went in for the war, and I ended up in battle group headquarters in the FPC, and when we moved into Basra, that's where we ended up, in the Shat Al Arab Hotel.
Yeah.
I'd imagine it was lovely once.
Yeah. Because it used to be an airport at one time.
Yeah, there was an airfield. Used to be an airfield in the 30s, 40s, and that.
Yeah.
It was all very Art Deco and everything like that. I'd imagine it was a beautiful place. But like I said,
Jeez,
when we went, it wasn't.
Yeah, but I remember we getting the Coldstream Guards was the main unit that was there. We didn't have anything to do with them apart from having to stack on with them at the base. because we had our own sectors to do. But at the time we got moored, the RSM was a complete another fruitcake. I remember Henry Rushworth was RSM. You remember Henry being, he's ex-3RJ, and you would remember him being a smick, you know what I mean?
No, he ended up with BSM. So it was BSM before it became your RSM.
Yeah.
It was our BSM, yeah.
I remember like the RSM of the costume guards panicking in a sense, and Henry just went up. He goes, "Right, listen in." He goes, "You do this, you do that, blah blah blah. I'm taking command here now." And the RSM, the costume guards, just let him take over. Henry Rushworth loved the man, and I couldn't think. He had Henry Rushworth as the RSM, and he had Paul Lester as the BSM. Two of the greatest smigs that you could ever come across. They're now like in command. Paul Lester, fuck it, lads, fuck it. Paul being typical ex 148 battery, you know, he doesn't take anything serious, but one of the most serious, super intelligent people I've ever came across in my whole life. So yeah, we were there for 8.5 months, and then we came back. We were on a 3-week AS90 exercise. Sorry, 3 2-week AS90 exercises spread out within, say, 3 months. So like March, April, May. And normally you do, back in the UK, you would do, 2 AS90 exercises a year because of restrictions and stuff like that. But we done 3 within the space of 3 months. I was like, what the hell's going on? But by that time, we got indicated that the brigade was going to go to Afghanistan. So, but we're like, you know, we're not going to take AS90 to Afghanistan. So, but what they were doing was they were preparing us for war readiness. You know what I mean? Because you had the infantry. The only thing that we knew that was different was because the KRH, who were the tankies for us, they weren't on the brigade exercises. So you had the light dragoons, you had the guards, the Grand Guards, and who was the other infantry? The Anglicans, all on doing proper exercises and stuff like that. And we were told, right, what's going to happen is initially 2A battery was going to be the main battery. Then it was going to be just one battery. It was going to be 2 batteries because we had three gun batteries at the time. And then it was going to be two gun batteries. 5 battery, who was the senior battery, was going to be split down between the 2 batteries, broken up between each other. So we then start doing light gun conversion, light gun exercises all over the place. And we then deployed to Afghanistan. I remember a good friend of mine who I became his cover as a gunner, John McDowell. He was from Dundee. He was our TSM, and he was staff sergeant as a TSM. And we were like first to deploy. I was like, bloody hell, happy days, no problem. We were at the Guardian at Home Barracks, and BFBS radio and Spar FM was at the Guardian, and the troop commander gave a speech saying how we're going to go out there, try our hardest, bring safety and stability to the country, and come back to our loved ones, blah blah blah, and CO came out and wishes all the best, said is out there, blah blah blah. And then John McDowell He gets up, and by the way, all this is live at the time on the radio. Right, you fuckers. I swear to God. And it's like 8 o'clock at night. And he goes, right, you fuckers, listen to him. And he goes, never mind what they all just fucking said. They're telling fucking lies. Some of you fuckers are gonna fucking die. But I'm telling you what, you are gonna fucking kill those bastards. And you're gonna take a lot of them out before they take you out. And he goes, when you do fucking die, you're gonna die like a fucking proud man. Killing those bastards. He couldn't make it up. But that was Joe, you know what I mean? He doesn't hold back. A very passionate lad, you know what I mean? So we went out to Afghanistan, and I tell you what, you know what? I loved the tour of Iraq, but see Afghanistan, totally different. It was what we were. It's what we were supposed to proper do, if that makes any sense to you.
Yeah, it was a lot busier.
Like all your training, what could potentially happen. This is what it is now. This is what it is now. Some of the things that happen out there, I won't say too much. Like, there's things out there that probably can't be said. I mean, but it's left.
Yeah.
Thing. But it opened up my eyes. It brought back that when we were at, if we go back to 3-4 party, I always said that 3-4 party was like a family unit. Everybody looked out for each other and stuff like that. And between 3-4 party and going back to 19, it was missing. We initially had it for Iraq, but then we had it again for Afghanistan. It was an experience that I'll never forget. I don't talk about it, to be honest with you, that much. Not because I don't want it, it's just because I don't want people thinking that what we were doing out there was for the wrong reasons, if that makes any sense to you.
No, I know exactly what you mean. I've spoken to people doing this podcast, and we've spoke about Iraq, you know, when we went out in 2003, and tele tours afterwards and stuff like that in Afghanistan, and how we feel as soldiers who are still serving and veterans now, feel as though we were doing our job, but the people back home thought we were there for the wrong reasons, and if we were, we were. Iraq, probably more so. They were probably right. You know, that's not for us to say. We get told we'll do something. Afghanistan, I think we were there for the right reason. It was just done wrong, especially towards the end, and then just to give it all back, just seems such a waste. So we feel annoyed, frustrated of the loss of life, that the money that was spent, the putting us all out of place and stuff like that, and it just seems a waste now.
Yeah,
when we look at all these years later.
When I was out there the first time, not once did I ever thought I was come back alive. Every day was a bonus. Every next day was a bonus, because you're constantly getting murdered. You're constantly getting engaged. Not so us, but like the infantry. We were spotted all the time with the guns, because we were the last. No, sorry. 4th Regiment was the last unit to actually go out on the ground with the guns, mogging. But they had to stop because it was in the winter, whereas we were doing it proper because out in the desert, it's summertime, and like we were spotted and everything else. And like, it just put you on your guard. Like they're seeing you, you can see them, but they can definitely see you.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's it's a very surreal experience. Something you train for, but you think, you go on exercise, you get these scenarios. You go to Ruskakea, you find the Ruskakeas, the Tajikistans and stuff like that, and they've taken over Bombay, something like that. You know what I mean? And you're like, yeah, we'll get this done, get index, go back in, blah blah blah. But this is not. This is real. This is real.
Yeah.
So not once did I expect to come back, and it was probably because of the mindset of what Joe said when we think we're not coming back, we're going to die. You know what I mean? But that closer we got, so towards the end of that tour, like I was there for 8 months. I think on the 7th month I was out there, I got promoted in the field. I was like, oh, brilliant, happy days. Actually, that's who gave me the promotion, Joe Howe, another ex-Pirbright man, who was my BK. Lovely man. Fucking horrible man, but a lovely man at the same time. Absolutely love the bloke. I really do love the bloke. He knew who I was, and he goes, O'Connor, come here. Putting me in judo positions and stuff like that. And he goes, I know everything about you. I know who you are, so I've never done anything wrong to you. But yeah, Joe promoted me. So, and then, funny enough, I got me R&R, and at the exact same time as Joe. So, myself and Joe Howe, two other young fellas, Junior McDowell, I can't remember who the other lad was, flew from Bastion to Kandahar. And he goes, right, pads, come with me. We're going for a coffee. No problem, so I'll buy it. No. Introduce me. Who did he introduce me to first? His old BC General Freddie Vickers, who was out there drinking coffee, smoking fags. Sir, General Vickers, sir, how are you? This is one of my men here, down there, Paddy O'Connor, blah blah blah. And this is such. He goes, hello, sir, how are you? Never in my life met a general. The next one, I'm shaking hands and sitting down with Joe, drinking coffee. General Freddie Vickers, lovely man.
Yeah, very, very nice, down to earth.
Yes,
man, and he loves his soldiers. Yeah, met a few times.
So and then we came back, and then I went to Ireland on my R&R because my sister had her eldest at the time, was my first niece. I hadn't had any nieces or anything, because to be honest with you, my family background is a broken family, you know what I mean? So I just thought, really proud that I sent a picture of my niece after she was born. I thought, I want to see this, because when I go back to Afghanistan, I might never see her again, you know what I mean? So I just went home to Ireland, went to my sister's, seeing my sister, had a cup of tea, and seeing my niece, gave her a hug and a kiss, in case I never came back. So went back, and then we followed the day, lads, in Kandahar. I have to come back from Bryce Norton. I was in the kind of the holding tent, ready to go back to Bastion, and all of a sudden I heard this female's voice. OC. I was like, what the fuck is that? And standing in front of me was this engineer, lieutenant. And I was like, look, Collie Waters, is that you? He goes, yeah. And Joe was standing behind me, right? And Joe went, boom, into me back. That's ma'am to you. No, sir, it's all right. She come over, he goes, nah, he goes, sorry, my name's Clem Waters. He goes, me and OC were in the Defence Force together because we were both gunners. He goes, "Oh, I'm joking." His BK goes, "Clever, isn't it?" He goes, "What are you doing in the Engineers? What are you doing in the British Army?" Because Clip knew I went to the British Army. And she turned around and told me that she like me, she got fed up waiting to get into the Irish Army, and she went to Sandhurst, went to the Engineers. Fair play to her. That was that fun. Yeah, and then I seen her once more in Bastion. Had a coffee with her in Bastion, and then she deployed out in the ground. And I was waiting to deploy it back out to Flop the Wire. But Fish Vickers, who was my BSM time, lovely man, absolutely gentleman, Fish Vickers.
Yeah, I know Fish.
Turned around and he goes, I said, "Sir," I says, when am I going back on the ground?" He goes, "You're not." I was looking confused. I was like, "What's going on?" Well, he goes, "No, you're staying in, you got a job to do, an important job to do. Dunks is coming in off the ground. You and Dunks are going to do it for the RSM." And like the RSM was Stuart Ansell. Do you remember Stuart Ansell?
Yeah.
Loving man as well. Basically, the CEO at the time, who was Will Bramble, another lovely man. I was quite lucky up to that time. He had really nice, between Cyprus and Herrick 6. He had really lovely men as CEOs and RSMs. Not that I'm gay or anything like that. It's just like real people who like look after the guys. Will Bramble was going to present everybody that went out to Afghanistan, irrespective of cap badge, that was with 19 Regiment, a brass cart. So me and Dunks, any brass carts that got back in, me and Dunks had to go get them FAT'd by the EOD. Then had to get them taken to, I remember, Jesus Christ, it was like 1,000 there was. No, 10,000, say 500. Then we had to take them to the RAF. Stuff like that, and then once we got all the paperwork done, that was the worst part, was the nightmare, because you make sure that the EOD had to check that the fuses were all fired inside and expended and stuff like that. So then at that time, the troop came back in, and then came, that was on the 8-month point. Then we got sent back UK. When at that time, that's come back, that's when everything had started weird happening again in my career. There was a lad, I won't mention his name, was supposed to go to 2-4 as an instructor, but couldn't go because he had a military record, let's just say, that wouldn't allow him to be around recruits at the time. So I got asked to go instead. Now, by this time, I had injured myself again. I've got a nightmare. I've a nightmare of myself where you go do some sport and you get injured. The older you get more and more injured you get. I got asked to go to 2-4 party, and I said, didn't want to do it, but I said, okay, I'll go. And that was when I think the worst moment of my career, or one of the worst moments of my career. I went to 2-4 party, and it opened up my eyes to a horrible world of the military that, unfortunately, I think it's still like today. the CEO was a bloke called Mark Thornhill. I don't know. I didn't know him or anything like that. He might be in Twitter, I'm not too sure. But
Yeah,
it's like
it rings a bell. I think it was, yeah.
He couldn't shout at the recruits. He couldn't. I'm like, hold on. I just literally came back from Afghanistan. Men and women are dying. You know what I mean? And you're not able to shout at them to encourage them, and I think you have to be like, "Oh, don't do that." You know what I mean?
Well, it was all the new rules that came in, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Now, I get that you got health and safety, you got quality and diversity, you got diversity inclusion, and it had to come in. But bring them in at a steady state, one after the other, not just throw a whole lot of them in as I want to deal with it. It just doesn't work, in my opinion. I don't know what others think. So I was there. I remember, like, it was a working weekend, and we were told no recruits could go home. I can't remember the name of the BSM at the time. It was X26 anyway. It says no recruits are to go home at the leave camp. No problem, sir. Happy days. I was the bunker on the Friday, and I had a young Fijian soldier that tried to get out of camp 4 times. 4 times I had to go to the main gate and say, "You're not allowed to go home. It's a working weekend." The BSM said nobody's allowed to go home, and this came from the top. So 4th time, I brought him down, and I said, "Right, this is not working." And I said, I wasn't going to shout at him. We got brought down to the guard room by the MPGS, to the guard room. I said, right, I'm not going to shout because there were still civilian staff working till, let's say, 5 o'clock on a Friday evening. I wasn't going to shout at him, so I took him inside to the back cells because the MPGS do the guard now, by the way, right?
Right.
And I was with one of the provost staff, and I explained one thing. I said, look, you cannot go home. I said, I'm not going to shout at you, but you cannot go home. I said, if you go home, I said, you try to leave, I said, pretend you're going to end up in one of these cells. That was the whole point of bringing them into the back cell area. Pretend you're going to be in there. And then all fucking hell erupted. A troop commander, who's now a MP in the UK, Johnny Mercer, spineless bastard, absolutely spineless bastard. Basically was telling him he could go home, but he was telling him, but he hadn't told me. And I spoke to the BSM. The commander goes, "No, BSM said no, nobody's going." I said, "But Cap Mercer saying this. Doesn't matter what he's saying. I'm the BSM, and this is coming from the BC and above. No problem, sir." So next minute, Johnny Mercer called me in the office, fucking screaming at me. And he's like, "Stand to attention." I'm not fucking standing to attention to you. You might be a captain, but I'm telling you now, and I'm fucking shouting, I'm pointing the finger back at him. I remember Cy Payne, the troop sergeant he was from 7RJ, was listening in, and he goes, "Pats, you need this. You need to fucking let him. You need to stop this. You do not want to trust him. He will fuck your career up if he can have a chance." I said, no, Cy. I said, this came from the BSM, blah, blah, blah. And after that weekend, Johnny Mercer and Mark Thornhill tried to have me fucking charged. The first time ever in my army career, they tried to have me charged because I wouldn't let a recruit leave camp. The BC, who was ex-4J, what was his name? Trev Burdick, I think it was. He was based one of the only people that passed Hereford course, but then so that he didn't want to do it. Loving man. He goes, "Look, Bomb, I'm going to have to." I go, "Yeah." He says, "It won't be on your record, but you're going back to your regiment." And I remember, he goes, "No, it's no problem, sir." He goes, "Don't worry, this is not going to affect you at all." So I then got marched into Mark Thornhill's office, Mark Thornhill goes, "You're a disgrace. You don't set the standards of an NCO, blah, blah, blah." And he got anything to say. And I was like, he has me sitting down in his office. I said, yeah. I said, if you don't mind me saying, sir, can I be open and honest with you? He goes, yeah. I said, first of all, I came here as a replacement for somebody else. I said, I didn't really want to come. But I said, as a favour for my regiment and loyalty to my regiment, I decided to come. And second of all, I was injured when I came. I said, even though I built up my fitness to recover from the injury, I said, I tried my hardest. I said, to be honest with you, I said, there's men and women dying out in Afghanistan. I said, you're the commanding officer of this trade regiment, and you are wanting this softy approach. I said, these kids are going to die when they go out on the battlefield. He goes, what? I goes, this is why you're the commanding officer of the training regiment and not a field regiment, because you're not good enough to be a CO of a field regiment. Get out! Trev Parks, that's who the BC was. Trev Parks was in the Adj's office. The door open, and the Adj's like that. I can't remember her name. She's like, I don't know. And Trev Parks is laughing his head off. And I didn't care. Not because I was an arrogant arsehole or anything like that. I've seen things that is reality, and then you've got the unreality, if that makes any sense to you.
Yeah.
And so I went back to 19. Oh, sorry, before I went back to 19, I got dragged in front of the RSM. Bob O'Connor, get in here. I was like, fucking, here you go. I'm going to get a second arsehole here and everything else. I was like, properly marched in. You know what I mean? I stood to attention. I was like, he slammed his pace stick down on the stick. The phone rings. Whoever this is, fuck off and do not ring me back for the next 30 minutes. Slammed the fucking phone down. I was like, oh, fuck's sake. Oh, man. But this is fucking the worst moment going. He goes, right, pads, relax. I said, what? He goes, first of all, I want to apologise. That clown down there hasn't got a clue what he's doing. He goes, you and I know both what's happening in reality. He goes, please take my apologies for what's happening to you. He says, what I would, if you do me a favour, is would you come back later in a couple of months' time and go to 3-4 party? Because I know you're good. I said, I would, but I said, if he's still the CO, I said, I can't. I says, I can't serve under him. He goes, no, look, listen, I told you I'm sorry you come from. I said, unfortunately, he's still going to be the CO in 12 months' time. I said, no problem, sir. So then I went back to 19, back in front of Joe Howe. O'Connor, get in here. I was like, fucking hell, Joe Howe, why didn't get put into a bleeding judo lock or something like that? He goes, right, tell me what the fuck happened. I told him, he goes, I know Mark Thornhill. Mark Thornhill's not like this. I said, sure. I said, honest to God, I said, he made a phone call to his mate, who was the RCMO at 14, and asked him what the hell was going on. And he put his phone down. And I was like, oh, fuck, I'm going to get battered here. Because Joe doesn't hold back. You know what I mean? If you piss Joe off, he'll destroy you. Irrespective of what rank he is or what rank you are, he'll destroy you. And he goes, pads? I says, because once they say pads, I knew that I'm on safe ground. And he goes, I don't know what's happened. I goes, he was never like that. He was actually a really, really nice bloke. I said, so I'm not there. And then, funny enough, 2 months later, Joe comes up. He goes, you know, you're old BC, Trev Parks. I goes, yeah. He says, he's resigned his post. He says, so there's a lot for going on. I said, but there was nothing. I said, bloody hell. I says, let me guess, Mark Thornhill. He goes, yeah. He just shook his head. By that time, went out to Canada again. Oh, Jesus Christ. You should. One thing I will say about Joe Howe, that man should never be allowed to go to Canada. He is ruthless. He'll work you to the hilt, but then when you're on downtime, he'll make you go out and enjoy yourself, and he wants to be treated when he has you out as well. Yeah. So then we're back at Afghanistan in 2009. 40 Regiment. Done 7
So it was not the third time you'd been to Iraq, you said?
No, second time to Afghanistan.
Right, yeah. Sorry.
Then I was an acting sergeant out there with that tour, because you had to be to instruct the A&A. And then came back, and then my wife, who was my fiancée at the time, she moved over to the UK. She moved over to the UK. And then I said, right, enough's enough. I can't. I'm not a young 20-year-old anymore. I've got to start taking life serious, because like there's going to be a life after the military. You know what I mean? In the army, it's not going to look after you for the rest of your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the next Afghan tour, I was told it wasn't going. I was like, happy days. So me and the wife was going through a thing called ICSI, which is a technical version of IVF. Very expensive as well. Because I knew that I wasn't going to Afghanistan. All planned out, and then fucking 19 being 19. Oh, you're going to Afghanistan? I said, well, no. I said, you've told me going. I said, we've just spent X amount of thousands. I think, you can do it when you come back. I said, no, you can't, because I'm not going to lie to you. That's when I had a breakdown. I'm not going to lie to you. I actually had a break. Not mental health issues, but I had a breakdown because too much had got on top of me. I tell you why. It's, how would you describe it? I'll get the. I've got plenty of swimmers, but they're not fast enough, right?
Right.
That's the only way to describe it. And the wife had 2 cysts on both her tubes, so they just weren't connecting. So hence the reason they had to go to ICSI. But yeah, I had a breakdown, with the unit. The BS7 time was a horrible person. Wasn't a family man at all. Didn't like me anyway because I was Irish. He literally does not like Irish people. So I had to. I had nothing like it. I had to go see the the medical psychologist lot.
Yeah.
Had to be written off work for at least 4 months because of that. And I try to get posted away from the regiment. The regiment wouldn't let me get posted. So then didn't go to Afghan. By that time, my sergeant, the acting sergeant was taking office, and I wasn't going to be made. Not that I cared anyway, because I was like, right, I'm married. I'm trying to have a child. Me and the wife are trying to have a child here, and this is, family comes first now. I'm in my 30s now. So done that, and by the time the wife gave birth, new BSM, new BC came in. They both of them knew me, anyway, from before, I think. But the BC turned around and said, right, because he knew I was at a certain age, and he goes, right, I'm not going to lie to you. He goes, you're basically too old now to be a number one. If you know what I mean, like, you need to move on to do another job. I said, that's fine. He goes, look, I'm going to offer you a job here. I want you to think about it. Have a good think about it, and then come back to me. He goes, would you be interested in doing welfare? Without even thought about it, I said, yeah, I'll do it. He goes, what? He was expecting me to turn around and say no. Go take a run and jump. Would you go do welfare? I said, yeah, I would. From the last 4 years. Because I could see the bigger picture, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cause you know me, Frankie, like, I do anything for anybody, but I won't suck arse, and I won't backstab people to get up and thing. And he knew that, hence the reason why he was like trying to not push me out, but give me an even more responsible job, if that makes any sense, where I can be opinionated. And I've done that for the last 4 years, and I absolutely loved it. Really did. Now, came across some horrible things within that. And I'll be honest with you, it shocks me to see things that go on within our career that you don't realise when you're not in that, because people keep things quiet, and I don't blame them.
So what happens behind closed doors and all that?
Yeah. So I've done that for 4 years, and then left, and do you know? I'm not gonna lie to you. See, the first 12 months in Civvy Street, for resettlement, I done what's called fibre optics and data installation for resettlement, and I had a job. I was working on some really great projects. A company.
I take it you went back home to Ireland then?
Yeah. I was working with some great projects for a company, but for the wrong district, if that makes any sense to you. So I was working for a company that's now called Onic. They're in the UK, in Ireland. They do Facebook, Microsoft and stuff like that, all the data centers and stuff like that. But I was working for the office for say Belfast Dairy, and I was working with a couple of dairy lads, and like I'm trying to make that, really grow me hair, not trying to be like typical soldier or anything like that, soldier's attitude or anything like that, because still, even though it's died down, they don't forget, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
People.
I was going to say, what was it like when you used to go home on leave and stuff like that? How did the people treat you? Because they knew you would,
Dublin,
even like your people you knew in that.
Yeah, Dublin is different. Dublin's different.
Yeah.
Like, there's quite a lot of people from Dublin, Cork, Limerick, and Waterford that are in the British Armed Forces, should whether it be Army, Navy, or that served even in the west coast of Ireland, like Galway and stuff like that. The north is totally different. If you're from the national side, you wouldn't catch it anybody from the national side in the British Armed Forces. Maybe now, but generally when I first joined up, you wouldn't catch it because you'd be killed. But because me and the wife, we moved to Donegal, which is in the northwest of Ireland. That's where the wife's from. We lived there. I was working with a couple of guys from Derry doing the data installation. Done a year with them. One of the guys I was working with, he's just brainwashed, completely brainwashed. And I just thought, right, the wife got offered a job with Central Bank down in Dublin. She was going to have to be down in Dublin. Obviously, our little boy was 4 going on 5. He was in school. So I said, right, I'll give up the job. So you can go do it because she's going to be in a lot more paid job and a lot more high profile job going thing. So she went and took that, and I gave up the job. Then COVID happened. Obviously, the wife was working during the COVID period. I was surviving just by my pension month to month, because and then when the lockdown finished, I actually got a job with a UK company here in Ireland that done the data service and installation for the likes of McDonald's, KFC, Burger King, Apple Green garages, Circle K garages. But I was all over the place in Ireland. Could be in Belfast one day, down in Cork the next day, and loved it. But I was only on a contract, like self-employed contract there, like thing.
Yeah.
And with Brexit and everything else, they were struggling to get supplies in. So they said, "Look, we're just gonna put everything on hold for a while until we get supplies in." I think, but so then got in a position with another company called Merticon. It was in the Microsoft data center, the brand new one. Busy. Basically, I was brought in just to terminate all the data cables. So I was like happy days with that. But I was working without a contract, and I was like, where's this contract now? I need to sign this contract. So, like, I need to be protected because if anything goes wrong, you know what I mean? At least I've got that there. Never got the contract. So I was like, by that time, I got a phone call from Surecom, and he said, "Look, we got told you might be interested in looking to work for us." I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Would you be interested in having an interview?" "Yeah, no problem." "Where are you right now?" I said, "I'm over at the Microsoft Data Center in Grange Castle." We're only across the road in Green. Would you be able to come across for an interview?" "Yeah, no problem." Went across, done an interview, and got a thing. When I worked for Surecom, and I was out in Galway for a bit, doing all putting up the what you call it, mobile phone masts for the likes of Vodafone, Air3 and stuff like that. And then he goes, "Right, we need you to go back to Dublin." "Okay, no problem. What am I doing?" "You're going to the Facebook data centre in Clonlee." "Oh, happy days." Do you know what? I'm not going to lie to you. It was the hardest job I've ever done my whole life, but also brilliant job. It was really enjoyable. The team, like, yeah. I wasn't expecting anything there. Like, there was like 12 of us there in the team, and then we got split up into two teams. And Santi, he was a Spanish lad who the supervisor thing goes, "Right, Luke, you've got such and such." He goes, "Michael, you're taking this team, blah, blah, blah." So I was made the team lead. I was only there for 2 months. I was already given my own team. I was happy there. So I was there for 12 months. Absolutely loved it. But this time the wife wanted me to get something a bit closer to home. So I then got a job with KN Cersei. You probably know them as Kelly Networks over in the UK. They do all the fibre optics.
Yeah.
So I was doing all the network design for Virgin Media. Weird, because I was working in an office on a computer. I'm not technically minded like you. Like working on computers, I struggled. So my contract wasn't renewed after 12 months. I just wanted to get back out on the tools. So, and that's where I am now. I'm at the Amazon Data Center down here in Dublin doing data installation. But it's going from continuity and consistency with one career to haven't realised that your next job, your next profession, you're only on rolling contracts. Like nobody does it permanent jobs anymore. You're on a 12-month rolling, as they call it, a 12-month full-time fixed-term contract. Because after 12 months, they can get rid of you. They don't have to renew you. I mean, if they don't want it, it's just trying to get used to that. You know what I mean? It's weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, I've been quite lucky that I've been in this place I'm at now. I've been there 11 years coming up, and I've loved it. It's given me stability. I work with nice people. It's great. You know, I'm happy where I'm at, and I'm glad I don't have to do all the contract work like what you're saying there. It's just I've got the stability, and like you say, coming out of the army where you've got masses of stability, and I've seen lots of lads struggle.
Yeah.
How did you find leaving the actual transition of leaving the army into Civvy Street? Did the army help you, or
No.
or was it just crack on, go on, do what you want?
Crack on. Anybody I speak to nowadays says it's the exact same.
A lot of people I've spoke to have said the same thing.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Frankie, something I learned in my last 4 years when I went into welfare. You're not a person. You're a number, and once your time's up, that number's gone. You know what I mean? It's good riddance to you. And like, I know, like the government is saying, like they do this. The Veterans Affairs Minister, who I mentioned his name earlier, saying he doesn't care about the thing. Like you see this thing about Veterans ID card. What's it about? Veterans ID card? What's that all about? What's it going to do for you? Absolutely nothing. Okay, it gets you membership of the Services Club. Who cares? Are you going to be there every weekend? No. It gets you about 10% of a railway journey. And let's be honest, the rail service in the UK is one of the worst in Europe. I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but you look at
it's not disrespectful. It's true.
Yeah. So you get 10% of a ticket go on a journey now. But like, here's the thing: when you get to your pension age, you get a free rail card anyway. I mean, you can travel anywhere you want around the UK for free, and you get your pension. So it's ridiculous. Like it doesn't improve your pension. Like we all know, there's many people out there who are just surviving on their pension, and like they're trying to make ends meet. You know, I mean, instead of coming up with a bleeding veterans card, try to do something about the people's pensions, get an increase with increasing the pension to go along with inflation and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Try to help people, the people that are now homeless, get them rehomed, get them off the streets, get them rehomed, get them jobs. You know what I mean?
No, I agree with you. I mean, I see, you see it all over social media about the veterans card and the veterans ID card, and I'm like, why? I mean, yeah. I mean, things will come in the future, but I don't see the point of it.
No, it serves no purpose. Absolutely serves no purpose at all.
Yeah.
It's just wasting money. And it's just, to me, I said this to a couple of lads that I know from the unit that's now out. I says, all it is him playing for votes. Because even if the Tories win the next election, his next job he'd be looking at would be Defence Secretary. Maybe he does well on that. Maybe he gets go for the big job. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm going to have to end this one now because it's been quite a long one.
I didn't want it to be a long one.
No, well, you're Irish, aren't you? You can't stop talking. You know what I mean? It's been great talking to you. I'll end it now, and we'll hopefully catch up soon.
Yes, definitely.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that episode. It was a long journey for Paddy. Sometimes things just don't go right for people, but he seems to be in a better place now. If you could just share these on your social medias, that'd be great. Also, leave a comment on Spotify or whatever platform that you listen to this on. Thanks again for listening, and look forward to the next one.